I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right. So let's talk about Chronicle of Ardul. Is that right?
Ardul.
Ardul. Okay. New record Sounds of Ardul is what? You're still probably about 2 months away.
Yeah, it comes out in April.
Now that it's complete, how do you feel about it, and are you satisfied with the outcome?
Oh man. It's just one of those things that I can always keep working on it more and more. But I mean, it's this is a work of love and I have too many things I need to do. I need to just move on and get to work on the next piece.
How do you know when how do you know when it's time to call it a day on a piece?
When you're sick and tired of it and you're just thinking, I could boost that one thing just another half a decibel, but you know what? No one's gonna notice.
So it
So
comes down to that.
pretty much.
Awesome. All right, so let's jump in then. So I think Sounds of Ardul feels less like a soundtrack to a film and more like a film in itself told entirely through sound. How do you construct those narrative arcs and emotional payoffs musically?
I this is the unique one because with Meyerwood and Sort of Virne, I did have an outline of where I wanted it to go. As I was figuring out the track list for or the track order for Sounds of Ardul,
Mhm.
it's I kind of just let's see how it goes. It's almost like a D&D game where you're starting in a tavern and there's some bards playing some music, and then you start going off into your adventure.
I guess not I guess, but you guys blend like a folk sort of thing with orchestral grandeur throughout the album. And I think, like you said, moving like from the tavern songs to sweeping battle themes. What's your process for determining the scale of a piece?
It kind of that's interesting because I there were some songs I have like different versions of, like the battle themes. I started writing the first battle theme and then I just thought this would be a lot cooler if I could do like a more scaled down version instead of just like this big epic version. What if it's just three people and some goblins? So, just kind of pare it down a little bit, bring down the scope a little bit more and see how that goes.
So then how do you know like when to whisper or when to unleash like the full-on symphony? Is that just intuition?
Pretty much. I know that I can later on build up to more stuff, bigger dynamics, bigger instrumentation, and so I'll just kind of I know that later on I'm gonna do something much more epic with it.
Is this written in a story first and then the lyrics? Like, do you have a short story or a novel or something you're working off of?
The previous stuff, yeah. I had a story in mind of where I wanted to take it and what I wanted to do and the themes I wanted to have. Sounds of Our Duel was very different. It was just more like what kind of music do you need for like an RPG game? You need some battle themes, you need some atmospheric stuff, maybe some tension. So yeah, I was kind of just basing it more off of like some of my favorite video game soundtracks and how they sound and what can I borrow from that?
So many tracks have the recurring theme of, your earlier works, especially characters returning in different forms or new forms. How do you approach musical continuity so that listeners can recognize the emotional or thematic echoes from earlier chapters or songs or whatever? Fill in the blank.
Melodic motifs. When when I was writing Meyerwood, I already had a piece that represented the Meyerwood forest. And so I kind of just manipulated what I learned in school, how to play with those melodic ideas and kind of tease what's coming in. And then as it finally builds up, you're get a sense of like, okay, we've had an idea of what this was like. Kind of the same with Sword of Virne. I play with the idea or the melodic theme of Dermad and also the sword and just kind of interweaved it here and there throughout the story as it built up more and more and then finally came into like fruition and here is the piece. Here is the melody finally.
As a composer working entirely within a self-created world, where do you draw the line between storytelling and composition? And actually, let me go just a step further because it's sort of a two-part question. Do you ever find the lore dictating the music?
Yes. Uh, Ardul is a dark fantasy world. It's dark and dire, and it's there's not a lot of hope. So that kind of dictates, more of a darker landscape, a darker sound in the themes of things. And I'm always thinking of what the world is like and trying to live up to what I'm trying to create with it. So
How much
I don't
parallels do
always,
you draw with our world?
not a lot. Uh, Although these dark times are kind of like, should I? That's kind of more of a feel of this is an experience that I'm living through, and maybe I can take those feelings and those themes and put it somewhere in my world.
So I'm gonna ask you. I've got some out of the box questions here in a second, but let's. Are you taking this on the road at all, or is it too difficult?
That'd be too difficult. And I don't have a live band yet, so I don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully in the future I can have this all live.
Because I imagine when you're writing this, though, you've got like this sort of live setting in mind, right? A vision of what it's gonna look like if you had some no budget, rather.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I could easily just making backing tracks and get some people to learn my music and just do that, or I could even have all the scores ready for musicians and just say, "Here you go." If there's any marks, I'm sorry, I'm not like the bestest at it, but
Right.
this is a lot closer than some people could do it.
Okay. And if fans want to find Chronicles of Ardor, how do they do so?
Just find me on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music.
So if you don't, if you're game, let's step a little left out and outside the box for some fun.
Okay.
If you could step into one track on Sounds of Ardul and live there for a day, sharing a drink with its characters and wandering its landscape, which piece would you choose and what might happen there?
Oh my God. It's all dangerous and scary, man. I'm a big fan of Woodlands. It's a very dark and mysterious and beautiful piece.
Okay.
And hopefully there's a chance that nothing bad happens.
Are we okay staying here for a minute?
Yeah.
If, let's see, imagine Ardul's world discovered by archaeologists in the far future. Your score is the only surviving artifact. How would they interpret this civilization's culture through your music?
Dark, dire, maybe a little bit of hope, some epic heroes that tried to make it for another day.
And then last one I have for you in this vein, and we'll switch back to the band. Suppose the tavern patrons from Oh Me, Oh My suddenly heard the opening of In the Mists of Mirewood. What chaos or revelation would unfold in the room?
They'd probably all sober up.
I'm sorry?
They'd probably all sober up.
Immediately sober up?
Yep. It's like, okay, we need to get out of here. This is not a good time to be here.
All right. What's next for the band or for you?
I am working on some more metal stuff. This time it's a little more scaled back. It's not the grand epicness from like Meyerwood and Virenay. But I've got some more lore I need to tell, and I'm excited to get to it.
Awesome. That is all I had. Did I miss anything you wanted to cover?
I think that's about it.
Hope that wasn't too bad. I know I kind of was all over the place, but I like to keep them interesting.
It was very interesting, I think. Thank you very much.
Awesome. You have a good day, my friend.
You too, take
Good
care.
talking to you. Be well.
You as well. Bye.
Bye.